So Brian Ortega just submitted Yair Rodriguez, and yeah, I kind of just cemented that Ilia is going to be a champion for a long, long time, and no one's going to beat him. I mean, who's even a threat to him at this point? Alex Volkanovski was a threat, I guess, but getting chinned by Islam and then having his head up high all the time when he's defending or when he's evading strikes, kind of obvious. A little short guy is going to knock him out. I mean, Chad Mendes gave him a lot of problems. He's a short little guy. It was pretty obvious that Ilia was going to knock him out. But I kind of want to go on a little bit of a rant about Yair Rodriguez. Because all these people are picking him against Brian Ortega. And I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, Ortega's been out for a while. But, like, if there's one thing anybody should have gotten from all of Yair's losses is it's against wrestlers. These guys, like, he has no takedown defense. I literally made a video about this like half a year ago. You can go look back on my channel and watch it. I was shitting on Yair because he has no takedown defense and he has no wrestling. He's got nothing. He's got some decent jiu-jitsu and he's got a couple submissions he can throw up here and there. He's got some decent ground and pound. That's about it. Otherwise, he's got no wrestling. He can't stop a takedown for shit. I mean, Brian Ortega isn't even known for getting really good takedowns, and he was dominating him easily every time he tried to get on top or every time he tried to take him down. He did. It was just that easy, and that's exactly why I said that Yair Rodriguez is never going to be a real champion. He was an interim champ, fake champ. I don't even know why they made that in the first place, but they just tried to hype up a number one contender fight for Volk when he was fighting Islam the first time. And yeah, man, he's just not good. Any wrestler's gonna dominate him. I mean, just look back. Go watch his fight with Max Holloway. Max Holloway dominated him on the ground. It's Max freaking Holloway. When was the last time he shot a takedown? Just think about it. When was the last time Max shot a takedown besides in the Yair fight? Yair's striking is top notch, but he's got no takedown defense. He's just weak. He's frail. He can't stop anybody. Max Holloway, another weak, frail-looking guy, took him down and dominated him on the ground. Of course, Brian Ortega was going to dominate him. It's kind of obvious. But at the end of the day, what this really means is Ilia is just going to become the GOAT featherweight, I guess. No one's going to beat him. Volk has no chance to beat him in a rematch. What does Volk have for Ilia? Nothing. He can't do anything to him. He's scared of the power. He doesn't have that much power to knock out Ilia himself. I mean, Ilia showed to have a pretty granite chin. He got head kicked by Jai Herbert and just recovered that fast. You know what I mean? Volk had nothing for him. Volk was scared of the power coming from Ilia the whole entire fight. And then eventually gets caught. Who else is up? Max Holloway. Max Holloway, after he's coming off of a shit ton of damage from Justin Gaethje, I don't think it's gonna go very good for him. I think Max Holloway might even get chinned by him at this point. If he takes a lot of damage by Gaethje, and he might even get knocked out. Who freaking knows? I mean, Gaethje isn't always a one-hitter quitter, knockout type of artist, but he does a lot of damage. Look at Tony Ferguson. I get it. Tony Ferguson's a little bit older, but still. Look at Ferguson. Look at Donald Cerrone. I get it. Older guys. Max is younger. He can probably still take it a little bit better. But at the end of the day, he's going to take a lot of damage, and I think it's going to hurt his chin in the long run. I mean, he's already stopped sparring all in all. He's taken a way more defensive approach to his fights. And I think he's going to take way too much damage in the fight against Justin Gaethje, try to make a pretty quick turnaround to fight Ilia Topuria, and just probably get chinned, honestly. Or he's going to probably get knocked down and rocked all over the place. I think it's probably going to be pretty similar to the Dustin Poirier fight, where he's just getting rocked all over the place and loses based on that. I don't think Max has much of a chance whatsoever. Yair, I guess he had some pretty decent striking, but if Ilia shot one takedown, he would have probably submitted him in the first round as well. I mean, Ilia's pretty strong. He was taking down Josh Emmett, and Josh Emmett has some pretty good takedown defense too. He's a short, little, stocky guy, So I don't think anybody's going to beat Ilia for a long time. It starts to make you think that maybe Volk's run was a little overrated. You know what I mean? He defeated Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega sucks. Let's just be real. He's trash. His striking is shit. His jiu-jitsu is his only thing he has. You know what I mean? His wrestling is pretty decent, but his jiu-jitsu was really his saving grace. Oh, Brian Ortega by submission. A couple of knockouts here and there, but he was just never that good. He was never really top tier, and he was what did people call it? squatting in the rankings for the longest time. He was never top tier. You know what I mean? And then Rodriguez, also same thing. There's an obvious way to beat Rodriguez. I mean, Frankie Edgar proved it back in the day, a long time ago. And the fact that Rodriguez never fixed that problem whatsoever. He gets taken down by anybody who even tries to. That's the problem with him. I mean, obviously Volk was going to take him down. I was saying that way back then. I wish I made a video about it. I would have been 100% right. I remember when I came to the Volk versus Yair fight, a lot of people were, oh, I don't know. Maybe Yair has it. Maybe he can knock him out. Yeah, freaking right, dude. Obviously, I was literally saying that from the get-go. I should have made videos back then, man, but I was just lazy. But, man, like, Volk's title run's starting to look like shit. I mean, the two guys he last beat, well, not last beat, but whatever. The two guys that he's beat in his title run that look like, oh, wow, such great wins. They just fought each other, and you call that top 3 and top 2? I don't think so, man. These guys don't look very good. You know what I mean? Maybe if Volk fought like a Movsar Evloev, who knows? Maybe he would have even lost that fight. Who freaking knows at this point? I honestly think Josh Emmett will probably chin Volk if he fights him. Josh Emmett's a short, little, stocky guy, again, with a shit ton of power and great wrestling defense. I mean, obviously, Josh Emmett isn't some high-caliber striker, but, I mean, shoot, if he lands, I don't trust Volk's chin anymore. But, man, I'm probably going to make a video dissecting Volk's title reign and probably calling it out for being a little bit overhyped later on. But, yeah, man, I don't think anybody's going to take out Ilia this whole time. He's probably going to be a champ for a while. I think he's going to at least be a champ for like a minimum of like 3 to 4 years. And probably beat Volk in all of his title defenses, become the GOAT, just because of the lack of really good competition, I think, at this point. You know, Volk looked unbeatable at featherweight. And then now that you think of it, like, all right, Yair wasn't that good. Brian Ortega's not good at all. I mean, anytime Brian Ortega faces anybody that's even good in the top, top 5, he gets his ass beat. I mean, Max Holloway had to teach him how to defend some strikes because it was just that bad, you know what I mean? And then Volk beat the shit out of him for 5 rounds. In the 3rd round, all Yair had was, all Brian Ortega had was 2 submissions that he tried. Failed both of them, and that was it. He had nothing. It should have been a TKO, honestly, at the end of the 3rd round because he was laying on the floor and his coach had to pick him up. So, I don't know, man. I'm probably going to dissect it later, but it's not looking good for Volk, and it looks like Ilia is going to have a very stagnant division for a while. So, who knows? We'll see what happens, I guess. We'll see if he, for some reason, they let him move up and try the Makhachev fight and probably get chinned as well. Who freaking knows?